Welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is the Horror Weekly Roundup Show. Yes, indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans. Well, horror movie fans, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the week. The big ones, anyway. I know that there's lots in them, but it's just kind of hard to sift through them all. We'll hit the major ones, talking about the mole people. Curse of Wolf Mountain, the Shrouds, Thaw, and we'll start off today's show by talking about this Halfway to Halloween, announced by Shudder. It's going to be kind of a Shudder day. Lots on the docket today from Shudder. Shudder announces month-long Halfway to Halloween lineup for April 2023. Now, I don't know if this is a April Fool's gag? I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it. Halfway to Halloween. Celebration is back for April 2023. Okay, so if you are subscribed to Shudder, I guess you're going to be served up a bevy of delicious treats. Popular horror anthology Slasher Ripper, starring Eric McCormick. Okay. The Last Drive-In with Bob Riggs, the Boulay Brothers, Halfway to Halloween special, the Shudder original film From Black, and Kids vs. Aliens. Oh yeah, Kids vs. Aliens, that lower budget movie. So, Shudder, Halfway to Halloween, 2-episode season premiere April 6th. The Ripper. Okay. Kids vs. Aliens. Yeah, we know about that one. We seen the trailer for that more than a month ago. We did watch the trailer for it, right? The Last Drive-In with Bob Briggs, season 5A. So what was he? He just kind of like promotes lower budget horror movies? I don't know, guys. I'm not subscribed to Shudder, but I was, given a copy of Shudder or a copy of Children of the Corn. So we'll be reviewing that later on today, and that's on Shudder. The Boulay Brothers Halfway to Halloween TV special. I don't know what this is about, but that looks kind of freaky, huh? Are they dancing? What the heck's going on with that? From Black. A young mother crushed by guilt after the disappearance of her young son 5 years previously is presented with a bizarre offer to learn the truth and set things right. Okay. So her son gets kidnapped and she gets the opportunity to learn the truth about what happened. Sounds a little bit like The Vanishing. Yeah. Or The Vanished. The French version, is that what it's called? But how far is she willing to go? Is she willing to pay the terrifying price for a chance to hold her boy again? Okay, now that sounds very much like The Vanishing or The Vanished. The Vanished was the French version, right? And then the Americanized version was called The Vanishing, that had Kiefer Sutherland and Jeff Bridges in it, which I thought was a fairly good movie. Some people, it's one of those movies where people say, oh, the original language film is so much better, you got to watch that. It's like what happened with Old Boy. It's like, oh, the Spike Lee version, it doesn't even hold a candle to the original version. If you're a diehard fan of this movie, then you got to say that the original is better. I'm not like that. I like the North American version of The Vanishing, even though they did have the Hollywood-style ending to it. I just thought what Jeff Bridges was doing in it was fantastic. And it had Sandra Bullock in it too. So I'm digressing here, aren't I? I'm taking the show right off the rails at the start here. The Blair Witch Project. Okay, so also coming up in April to the libraries, Blair Witch 1999. Blair Witch 2. Hey, I got a soft spot for Blair Witch 2. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't think it was a film way ahead of its time, dealing about, folie à deux. Or, like a group psychosis, people falling in under the same kind of, mental sickness. Blair Witch 2 was way ahead of its time in that aspect. And it got me. It got me when I was watching it in the theater. It creeped me out, man. And when it got to that ending scene, it's like, wait a minute here. I've been sucked into this movie. What if this is not the way that they're portraying it to be? and it happened like that. So it got me. The Wicker Man, 1973. The Fog, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead is a classic. We like that, right? Halloween, 1978. Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, somebody recently wanted me to do like the a reaction to all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, which I got no problem with, but I think some of them have some nudity. So we'd have to dance around that. Same with the Hellraiser too. I would love to do that. Those are ones that I would have to pre-record and go through and make sure that I don't get nudity in it. But and you know me, I don't like to edit videos. It's not my bag. That's why I do everything live streaming. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Shudder, halfway to Halloween month. So there you go. Doesn't seem like it's a April Fool's joke. Seems like it's pretty legit with their roll call here. So, yeah, if you're a Shudder fan, let me know. Are you going to check it out? Halfway to Halloween already? Really? Let's see how many months. It would be 6 months from now. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, that is 6 months. Wow. Huh. Time flies, huh? All right, let's get into the next topic. Thaw. What the heck is Thaw? I thaw you. What? No. Evil Dead Rise filmmaker Lee Cronin tackling horror thriller Thaw for New Line. So Lee Cronin's big right now because of Evil Dead Rise that comes out later this month. One of my most anticipated horror films of the year. Lee Cronin also did Hole in the Ground. So he's got a little bit more of a dramatic flair to his filmmaking, which I hope transfers into Evil Dead when it comes to like the dramatic aspects of the film. But I guess after this, he's going to be doing something called Thaw. And all things that I've heard about Evil Dead Rise is that it's worth seeing, that it's a good film. So, Thaw. Let's take a look at what the synopsis says. Set years after the polar ice caps have melted and the sea levels have risen, the story of Thaw centers on a group of survivors at sea searching for a new home. Very Waterworld-ish, huh? Their prayers are answered with the discovery of an inhabitable town, that is, until they encounter a new nightmare living just below the water surface. Okay, so there's some kind of beast under the waters. That sounds cool. Hey, we like shark movies or, creature features. And if he's delving into Evil Dead Rise, it's definitely creature features there for that. Lee Cronin. Thaw. Fascinating. Yeah. Aquatic horror movie. So it sounds like they go to some kind of an atoll. Be careful how you pronounce that word, right? Atoll? Not, yeah, you know what people confuse that word with. At-hole. Anyway, Jeremy Passmore, San Andreas, wrote the original script, which sold to Gunpowder and Sky. THR reports that Lee Cronin will be rewriting the script as well as directing. Okay, so he'll be putting his own touches on the script. Got no problem with that. Set years, yeah, we know the answer to that. We just read the synopsis. Very fascinating. Thaw. Yeah, that world, like Waterworld, that concept beyond what I know it's not connected to the Waterworld, but like that scenario definitely has that door open for like you could do lots of stuff with that kind of thing, right? Lots of stuff. Mutant animals and stuff like that. What happens next and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The Shrouds. David Cronenberg's next movie, The Shrouds, will begin filming in May. In May. Cool. That's just around the corner. David Cronenberg. I was somebody that, I liked Crimes of the Future. I know that it wasn't a big hit for a lot of people. A lot of people were just kind of like, it's a little too abstract, a little too... The budget had a lot of problems with that, but that, it didn't have that big scope that people wanted, right, from Cronenberg. But I still appreciated the film, like the eating of the plastic and the evolving. It was just like, it got weird, and that's what I like from Cronenberg, right? That when he takes it to that weird level. Filming is set to begin May 8th. Okay. In Toronto, as we learned, Vincent Cassel, who worked with Cronenberg in Eastern Promises, is on board to star alongside Diane Kruger, we like her, from Inglourious Basterds, and Guy Pearce from Memento. Cool. So what's this? Cassel will play Karsh, an innovative businessman and grieving widower who builds a novel device to connect with the dead inside a burial shroud. A novel device to connect with the dead inside a burial shroud. So that sounds very much like Crimes of the Future, about those pods and stuff like that. So he's chiming along the same kind of themes with this material, right? This burial tool installed at his own state-of-the-art, though controversial cemetery, allows him and his clients to watch their specific departed loved one decompose in real time. Ooh, that's gross. Though controversial cemetery allows him and his clients to watch their specific departed loved one decompose real time. So they film the loved one's body decomposing. Yeah, that's very Cronenbergian. Yeah. Cash's revolutionary business is on the verge of breaking into the international mainstream when several graves within his cemetery are vandalized and nearly destroyed, including that of his wife, while he struggles to uncover clear motive for the attack. The mystery of who wrought this havoc and why drive him to reevaluate his business, marriage, and fidelity to his late wife's memory, as well as push him to new beginnings. Wow, okay, they're giving a lot of information there. Cronenberg, Castle. You don't know who Vincent Castle is. See if we can pull up an image of him. He was also in. I mostly know him from Black Swan, right? He's played bad guys quite a bit, right? Oh yeah, he was in that recent Three Musketeers interpretation, wasn't he? It was supposed to be like a 2-part series, a movie series, something like that. Yeah, Black Swan. You recognize him? Frenchman, right? Born in Paris, yeah. What was it? Three Musketeers, yeah, D'Artagnan, yeah. He was the bad guy in Jason Bourne, yeah. Early in his career, he was kind of pigeonholed as a bad guy because he's just got that look that people look for. Yeah, Jason Bourne, Asset 2016, Child 44. Child 44, that sounds. Was that with Tom Hardy? Or, yeah. Okay. Beauty and the Beast. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Art Glass says he was the bad guy in Jason Bourne. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, anyway. The Curse of Wolf Mountain. The Curse of Wolf Mountain, Danny Trejo and Tobin Bell star in action horror. Action horror. The Curse of Wolf Mountain. Well, we do like Danny Trejo, right? Tobin Bell from the Saw movies, and he's going to be in the new Saw movie as well, right? So that's going to be curious too to see how that unfolds. Let's see what this is about. You can expect Curse of Wolf Mountain May. So it's already sounds like it's all done and stuff. So you think we would have gotten a teaser for this? In the film, a man starts to have vivid dreams about his parents' death and decides to return to the remote mountain spot where they were killed and his brother's family. Okay. Eddie McClintock and Fernanda Romero also starred, directed by David Lipper. It's great to be back in business again with producer, filmmaker. Okay, he says. Weird. Horror thriller. And that's not much to go on. A man starts to have vivid dreams about his parents' death and decides to return to the remote mountain spot where they were killed. That doesn't seem like that would be Danny Trejo's character or Tobin Bell's. It sounds like those two would be the ones who were doing the killing. Right? Huh. Well, Eddie McClintock. I don't recognize that name. Let's take a look at the old. So that looks like it could be the main character, right? And he goes in the mountains and finds those two old geezers out there, like doing some killing. He wants revenge. Okay, yeah, I could get on board with that maybe. Satanic Thriller. Hey, what's this about? I got no problem with this. Psycho killer, barbarian, and escape room stars leading satanic slasher movie from from the writer of Seven, Georgina Bell from Barbarian. I was one of those people that was a little bit mixed on Barbarian. It was okay. Uh, it kind of fell apart for me in the third act. And I know that was the big reveal for a lot of people that were like, ooh, you got to go check out Barbarian. But for me, it was kind of like, meh, middle of the road for me. Logan Miller from Escape Room. Do we know Logan Miller from Escape Room? Was he I'm guessing he was the only guy that survived, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, no problem with that. Star in satanic slasher movie. So, do we got a synopsis about this? Um, Deadline reports the film follows Jane Thorne Campbell, a police officer who makes it her mission to take down a serial killer referenced on the news as the Satanic Slasher. Following the murder of her state trooper husband, Miller will play Marvin, a goth-type nebbish, I think it's nebbish, goth-type nebbish, who works for the mysterious Pendleton in his massive mansion. Massive mansion. Okay, so she'll be playing a guy who wants a detective, a police officer that wants to hunt down the killer in a mansion. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. The casting of that sounds weird. So the young guy will be playing a goth type nebbish who works for the mysterious Pendleton in a massive mansion. Who works for, like, doing what? Like being like a servant, or that? Not much to go on there. Satanic slasher movie, though. It sounds like there's going to be dealing with some kind of a cult. Um, well, that's not uncommon, I guess, for us here in the horror genre. What's next? He'll Come Knockin'. He'll Come Knockin'. Hot horror package. He'll Come Knocking lands at Paramount. Patrick Bryce, who directed There's Someone Inside Your House, is on board to helm the feature project. Okay. He'll Come Knocking. I don't know who any of these guys are. Never seen them before in my entire life. Patrick Bryce, who last directed There's Someone Inside Your House. Okay, we just read that. He's Hollywood Reporter. Give me a synopsis. Adapting a story by author Robert McCammon, Knocking tells of an ex-con who gets a new job in a revitalized factory town in hopes of turning around his family's life, only to soon discover that their idyllic suburban dream requires a terrible sacrifice. Oh, so he gets a new job in a factory town. Everything looks like it's going along nicely, and then somebody comes along and says, well, tells you, hey, this is the price for all of this. You got to make a sacrifice. Okay. That could work. Very Simpsons. What is it? Hank Scorpio episode where Homer gets a job in a new town, and like the CEO of the company that he works for is like a Bond villain trying to take over the world and stuff. There's like a weird angle to it, a spin on like a dream job kind of thing. Yeah, something like that. He recently directed There's Someone Inside Your House, a Netflix horror movie. Is that on Netflix? There's someone in your house. Let me just pull up my Netflix here and take a look for this, because hey, if it's on Netflix, I want to check it out because I do like horror. There's someone inside your house. Let's take a look. And there it is. Someone inside your house. Let me just pull up the more information here. Hey, I didn't say hit play. Ah, crap. More info. There we go. It said teen horror, right? That's fine. 2021. McKenny and her friends at Osborne High School try to identify and stop mass killer who's targeting students, exposing their biggest secrets. Fascinating.
You're sleepwalking again.
I'll add that to my list. I'll check that out. Why not? All right. So, yeah, he'll come knocking. What's next? The Mole People. Did you guys ever see that old classic from 1956? The Mole People, Universal remaking the classic 1956 monster movie. The Mole People. So this is like pre-Chud, right? The Mole People, Chuds, people who live underground, eat people. So Universal is going to make this The Mole People. Chris Winterbauer is writing the script based on a pitch from Universal Pictures acquired from Winterbauer, with Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead producing the remake. Robert Kirkman. So that'll be, a lot of people out there will be like, because Kirkman, some people love him and some people really, really don't like him. I was somebody who started to not like him towards the end of The Walking Dead because he was responsible for a lot of that style that just rubbed people along the wrong way. Anyway, in the new take, a woman travels to a town veiled in a conspiracy to rescue her grandchildren from their father. To do this, she must fight through hell in the underground tunnels where the Mole People reside. Okay, wow, they added some onto that, but that's okay. The Mole People. We like creature features. Weird underground things. Yeah, so obviously the 1956 version is very low budget. No release date, but Robert Kirkman is behind it. The remaking, The Mole People. Fascinating. What do you guys think about that? Bifer in the live chat says, hey, how's it going, Bifer? How's your weekend going so far? I don't indulge with those like April Fool's jokes or anything like that. I'm a little bit on that kind of stuff. But hey, guys, if you want to follow me on all the social medias, there they are right there. The only one that's kind of up in the air is the Facebook kind of thing. It's kind of like, I'm trying to sort it out. It could take 60 days for me to sort out the Facebook thing properly because of their stupid restrictions. Anyway, that's what is going to happen. So, what's next? Did I miss something here? Oh, yeah, I did miss that. We'll put that at the end. Forgot to put in that topic. It's not much anyway. It was about Friday Night at Freddy's or Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's go in and take a look at some trailers. There was kind of like a sneak peek look at the Ennies Man, exclusive Ennies Man. The trailer for this came out a couple months ago. Haunting Coast of Britain. Very low budget. It's going to be in theaters. Well, it was supposed to be in theaters yesterday. I didn't see a listing. There's these ones don't have a wide release, and I don't even think like the art house theater near me would play something as low budget as this. The Ennies Man. I don't even know what the heck this is about. Ennies Man was shot in 16mm color negative using 1970s clockwork Bolex camera and post-sync sound to achieve the feeling of that look. Okay, a haunted movie place. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that that technique. All right. Ennies Man, a wildlife volunteer of an uninhabited island off the British coast, descends into terrifying madness that challenges her grip on reality and pushes her into a living nightmare, evoking the feeling of discovering a reel of never before seen celluloid unspooling in a haunted movie palace. Okay, so we got some, yeah, it's going to have a grainy look to it, very grindhouse look to it, right? Yeah, as I said, the trailer for this came out a couple months ago, but we got some new images here. Cult-like, yeah, I think people would say cult. Whoops. I'm not going to play the trailer because it's just a bunch of clips. And as I said, this came out a couple months ago. Ennies Man. I don't know if we bothered to look at it, But yeah, as you can see here, they're definitely going for that grindhouse feel to it. And I think there are some nefarious images in here. Grainy. You can see that, yeah, maybe there is kind of a cult thing going on here on the coast of Britain. Ennies, man. Yeah. Petrol. Yeah, so it's just the aesthetic of it, I guess, is what people would be wanting to see if they can get down into it. Let's see what people were saying about this. I saw this trailer before Infinity Pool, thought it looked weird AF, but for some reason I'm hyped for this movie now, 7 days ago. I love how much I don't hate this, even though I feel like I should. Yeah, giving me Don't Look Now vibes. Yeah, Ennis Man gives me the Salem witch trial vibes. Hardglass says, yeah. So as I said, the trailer came out a while ago. Supposed to come. It was supposed to be out yesterday, right? So if you got the chance to have seen it, let me know if you did, and let me know your thoughts. More trailers. What's next? Okay, this one's okay. Remember when I told you that there's different elements of horror? Like there's like horror that's not scary, and then there's horror that is scary, and then there's that third genre that I don't like to talk about. Killer Sofa is one of those horror movies that's horror that's not scary. It's more ridiculous, but a killer, a sofa that eats you. It's going to be on The Most Relaxing Way to Die on Screambox. Yes, they actually made this movie, Electric Dreams with Christine, in the heartwarming, horrific chronicle of a killer lazy boy that falls in love with a girl and the bloody carnage that follows as the result. Killer Sofa. Now, this trailer, again, there's blood. It's lower budget, obviously, very fan-made. As you can see, there it is. I don't know if this is supposed to be their attempt of saying that a ghost has inhabited this chair, and yeah, it's okay. Fine. Let's watch at least a little bit of it, of this trailer.
We need to find out where that recliner is. Tomorrow morning, we'll call every delivery company in the city if we have
So you see that at the window there? Hilarious. Okay, so you get the tone of it, right?
Whoever has that recliner is in great danger.
Ooh. Cast looks interesting. Maybe I should take this a little bit more seriously. But yeah, once the chair starts to eat people, attack people, the budget.
Possessed.
Yeah.
It's here.
Okay, hold on. Why are you showing me the spring? It gets uncoiled or something, or is that supposed to be its eyes?
Never, ever
Ooh.
underestimate the seducing power of the beast.
The seducing
The
power
soul
of the
you were
beast.
trying to save has already been doomed.
The sofa you're trying to save has already been doomed. Okay, wow. This movie looks Sofa King scary. Okay, 3 years ago. Wow, this came out 3 years ago. Oh my God, James. Then why the heck is this? Is this something that must have had a tough time trying to find a distributor or some kind of a release platform? Now it's going to be on Screenbox? Jeez. All right. So there you go. Don't sit on the furniture. It is what it is. Killer Sofa. It does make me want to look up the cast, though, because we'll do that. Killer Sofa. (2019) it says. I want to take a look at the cast. Because that one girl looked vaguely familiar, but caught my eye. Was it Natalie Morris? Is that the one that I saw? Nobody else has a headshot to use on their IMDb. Black Christmas. Is that where I saw that? Saw her? Black Christmas. No, that's not the same girl that I was looking at in the trailer, was it? No, it's not. Black Christmas. Whatever. Killer Sofa. Now on Screenbox. Whatever. TV headlines. Let's get into some TV headlines. Killer Sofa makes me want to pen an actual horror script. Yeah. I mean, when they come up with ideas like that, so easy. The thing is that when you have such a lower budget like that, is it actually ever going to find its audience? Because it's so low budget. You have to be on like Birdemic level quality, right? Let's get into some TV headlines. The Event Horizon show can finally answer a 26-year-old mystery. So they're making an Event Horizon show? Huh. Although it has been 26 years, Amazon Prime is going to be making an Amazon... I like the Event Horizon. It was like 1 or 2 tweaks away from being like a perfect horror movie. The cast was pretty good. Lawrence Fishburne. Sam Neill rips out his eyeballs. Yeah. So what's going on here? So we know about that. It's a ship that goes into the hell dimension and then comes back, and the recovery crew goes to recover it and salvage it, but realize that it's been tainted by the hell dimension and has like a entity of its own, kind of makes you see all your worst fears and stuff like that. Very cool premise. And people loosely had hinted that it was going to be, that it was tied to the Hellraiser universe, that the hell dimension that it went to was like one of the, like, went down to like the labyrinth or whatever. It was like, yeah, okay, cool concept, cool idea, but what's this series going to be? Why Amazon's Event Horizon plot will have to explain Miller's fate. Yeah, because the captain sacrifices himself at the end there, right? The Event Horizon show will need to explore the whereabouts of several reasons. Well, I don't know. I'm sure that they'll set it up in such a way that you probably didn't have to see the movie to understand what's going on. I'm sure they could just, the series itself could be just kind of like a retread of what the first movie was. It's just like, hey, Event Horizon went down to the hell dimension and it came back. And that's, I'm sure, exactly what's going to happen in the series. It comes back and then it'll explain, well, is the captain still there or what's going on, right? And another salvage team will be dispatched to figure out what the heck is going on. That's what I expect this to be about. It doesn't really say too much here in this article as to when this would be coming out, but it's got the headline, so it's definitely piqued my curiosity. On Amazon Prime, huh? Yeah. Let's see if that. March 13th. Lawrence Fishburne, he says that he would be open to the return. Huh. Is anyone else excited? And so this news was broken last year too, that they were going to make this out. I just flew under my radar for some reason. Okay, well, I'll keep my eye out for that TV stuff for sure, because I'm going to be signing up for Prime again here pretty soon. Yeah, I like Prime, especially when Rings of Power Season 2 comes out. which is still probably like a year away, right? Yeah. And then definitely when Peripheral season 2 comes out, I'll be signing up for Prime again, because I like that series quite a bit. And we did a full live reaction series to the Peripheral here on the channel. Chloe Grace Moretz was in that. What's next on the old TV headlines here? This came out earlier this week too. X-Files. Ryan Coogler developing a new take on the series. They want to have a diverse cast. I don't know if they'll even... I'm sure they'll reference Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, but like if it's going to take place in the same universe or not. If come courtesy of X-Files Albuquerque animated spin-off series. No, that's not going to happen anymore from what I understand. The project had been given a script commitment. Rocky Russo and Jeremy Sasenko. Carter teases during the conversation uploaded this week. I just spoke to a young man, Ryan Coogler, who is going to remount the X-Files with a diverse cast. So he's got his work cut out for him because we covered so much territory, Carter says. Okay, so Chris Carter, the original creator, is on board with this. It sounds like this is the first we've heard of anything about Ryan Coogler being attached to the X-Files franchise, and it's one hell of an exciting proposition. Coogler, he did Creed, first Black Panther. Well, actually did Black Panther, Wakanda Forever as well. And there's the Fluke Man from the X-Files. I hope they do weird stories like that. I like the weird stories like the Fluke Man and when it got into the alien stuff, and that's where I was kind of like, meh. I know that was the big draw for a lot of people, but it just got too fantastical, too convoluted, and they kept on trying to close it off, but then they would go back to it. And it's kind of like, yeah, it overstayed its welcome. But anyway, there you go. Keep our eye on that project as it develops. But something that is coming along a lot faster is Dead Ringers. Official trailer on Prime. Talking about being on Prime. Puts a fresh spin on the Cronenberg classic. Cronenberg, again, comes up in today's topics. There's a new trailer out. The official trailer for
it's
Rachel
impossible
Weisz's,
to explain this relationship.
Dead Ringers. Now, as you know, she plays twins in this. And I don't know if we're going to watch this trailer. One of them falls in love with this woman,
Explain
and
this relationship
the other
to
one
anyone
becomes
outside.
jealous, I think, and then tries to attack her, or they begin to fight with each other. But I do like Rachel Weisz. If Brendan Fraser comes back for a Mummy movie, I hope she does come back too.
We just cut a baby.
Oh, it's got music in it. Shoot. Yeah, and she's a gynecologist, so I got to be very careful with this trailer. If it's Prime, it's music, so it's primarily music. But the fact that she's going to be playing a dual role in this is what's piqued my curiosity. Like an evil twin. That's a concept that I always dig, and it's just mostly music. Somebody, Michael McKean is in this. Cool.
But it might be. But it's not. But it could be. But it's not.
Yeah. So yeah, that interaction between each other, I think it could be fascinating. Dead Ringers, the original, was by Cronenberg. Had Jeremy Irons playing the twins, so there's a little bit of a change up in that aspect, which I don't really care about that stuff.
Everything's my business, not this.
Yeah, so one of them falls in love, and like the other twin gets angry about it. Yeah. Dead Ringers. April 21st is when this comes out. On Prime? Maybe I'll sign up by then. Maybe I will. by the 21st, I'll sign up for Prime again, and I'll watch it and do reactions for it like I did for. I'll review it in the same format that I did for Queen's Gambit, where I just turn it on after every episode and give you guys my thoughts. Because I'll be brutally honest, guys, a lot of the series reactions don't get a lot of views. Like even for big shows like The Last of Us, like the viewership, because everybody does it, I suppose. That's right. Maybe that's why the viewership numbers are down. And the thing is I'm offering something different here. I'll let you guys see the entire thing with me. Continuing on with the TV headlines. Alex de la Elagacias, 30 Coins, Season 2, trailer welcomes you to hell. Well, that definitely looks like hell it makes you go, very Cenobite-ish, very Silent Hill-ish. On HBO Max, 30 Coins will arrive this year. I never even heard about it. It's Spanish. Okay, so it's Spanish. So the first season was in Spanish. Acclaimed horror master Alex de la Iglesia. Day of the Beast, The Witching, The Last Circus. Viewers worldwide. Did you guys even see this first season? The 8-episode first season follows Father Vergara, an exorcist, boxer, an ex-convict who is exiled by the church as the priest of a remote town in Spain. As his past and old enemies come back to haunt him, strange things begin to happen, and an unlikely task forms mayor. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, the trailer is out there, and so it's subtitled. Very Cenobite-ish, right? I would play it, but it's all in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. What the heck? Why does that look like Paul Giamatti? That's not Paul Giamatti. But yeah, it's definitely hellscape for sure.
I don't want this world. I want a new one.
That is Paul Giamatti. What the heck? Weird. So it will have English speaking in it. Why is it being so choppy? Oh, because this is from a Twitter video. Twitter's video playing platform sucks. It's choppy all like this. But as I said, this kind of costume design, that's totally my bag. Yeah. Oh, looks like they're doing some kind of a seance there or something. Ooh, watch the booze, man. It's only that much. A little bit of alcohol abuse there. Whatever. This imagery here. Yeah, that catches my eye. I wasn't aware of this before. And I don't mind watching things with subtitles. On HBO Max. Huh. 30 Coins. Paul Giamatti. You pulled Paul Giamatti out for this one, huh? Fascinating. I do like Paul Giamatti as an actor. He's really good. All right, guys, it's 11:43, so it's not a really big show today. I didn't have much going here. So last night I managed to get a copy of Children of the Corn that was on Shudder and was in theaters for a limited time on March 21st or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up here. If you get Prime, maybe you'll watch Jack Reacher series. Maybe I don't know. I got a lot on my table here. People request things, and it's kind of like I want to get to them. I really do. But it is what it is. Okay, so let me make sure that I got this all set up here properly. And we will get underway for this review, which is going to be rather short for obvious reasons once I tell you about this movie. All right. Children of the Corn 2023. Is it a good movie? No. This is my movie review for Children of the Corn. Now, this was based on a Stephen King novel or story, and it's a remake that was supposed to come out like 3 years ago, and, It finally came out in theaters in limited release this month in March, and it's now on Shudder. The film describes the events of leading up to and including the massacre of the adults of a small town in Nebraska by their children, and their adults' irresponsibility ruins the crop and the children's future. So yeah, this town grows corn. I guess they hint at the fact that there could be a fungus on the corn that could be like, well, corrupting the kids' minds, making them hallucinate about seeing a monster and forcing them to do weird things. I'll tell you this, the acting wasn't terrible. This girl here is our lead character, and she was actually really trying. You know, she was actually trying to make the best out of, there's some of the smoke, the stuff. But then, of course, you know that, the kids do take over. They try to kill, well, they actually do. Like the blood count in this is pretty high. The murders and stuff. This is Eden is our main antagonist leading all of this stuff. My problem with this movie, my main observation, while it does come in at a quick an hour and 30 minutes, the pacing of it just happens so fast. You don't really sometimes get the time to absorb the seriousness of the situation, right? Of what's going on with them. And while she internalizes it, and you get to see her point of view of like, oh my God, these kids are really, really going off the deep end here. It's just kind of like the setup for it happens so fast. It's kind of like, oh, you know what? The elders in this town, they know that the corn is going bad. It's not generating revenue. We got to change courses here. And it just happens like in the course of like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden it goes from that to killing. It's like, wow, oh, okay. And you know that there's something off with the kids in the beginning. It's just, this movie lacks in execution. It had a good premise. Children of the Corn had a good premise. It had, good enough acting, but it failed in the execution and the directing from one Kurt Wimmer. This movie was shot a while ago, guys, and it was supposed to come out in 2020. It got shelved. It got put on that, never coming out list, and for good cause. It just wasn't resonating with people. And it finally came out. I got to see it. As I said, I appreciate the acting in it. Eden, Kate Moyer there, a very young actress. She had some menace to her, but it was just kind of, that was taken away from, a lot of her menace was taken away from the monster that shows up, and it just becomes like a farce. It does. And as I said, the main actress here, Elena Kampouris, she was really trying with it, with the material. And I had to look up her credits here because I do want to keep an eye on this girl's career. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. They're making a third one of that? Unbelievable. But, as I said, it's not resonating with the fans. It didn't resonate with the fans or the critics. 12% by the critics, 38% by the audience. It's a fast movie, but it's just kind of like it happens so fast that you don't have time to accept the fact that these kids are going to kill everybody. It's kind of like, oh, really? As I said, it goes from one disagreement to killing everybody. And we know that they dropped the suggestion that it's supposed to be, a fungus or something that could be corrupting them. But it's kind of like, it just lacked in the execution. So let's take a look at a good review. It could be a little bigger, a bit bolder, but this Children of the Corn is a marked improvement in quality from a number of entries that came before. Well, the Children of the Corn series had gone through so many, there's so many sequels out there, it just ran itself into the ground, much more like the Hellraiser franchise. And I'll tell you this, guys, I'm fairly lenient when it comes to Stephen King adaptations, because I liked the Firestarter reboot from last year, but people didn't like that. People don't like this. And I'm going to have to I'm going to have to agree with them on this one. It's just kind of like, man. And then what happens in the third act is just so, you'll be like, what? No. Are you serious? It's one of those endings, right? Yeah. So let's take a look at a bad review here and see if we can agree with this. The little evil girl gives a pretty solid performance in this terrible movie. Yeah, and Eden, the young girl there, as I said, she does play some menace, but it's completely upstaged and ruined by what they do in the third act. Isn't scary or thrilling as its young cast takes on boomers who left their generation with nothing more than a fistful of crop dust. So, yeah. Now, I didn't enjoy it as much as, well, yeah, none of these people actually enjoyed it, but 12% by the critics, it's not that low. It's not a 1 out of 10 movie. 3.8, yeah, I don't even know if it's that low. It's on Shudder. It's a quick hour and 30 minutes. That's a plus for it. At least it's going to go by fast, but it's kind of like, it's not scary. It's just, yeah, these kids killing the adults, and it's kind of like, well, you want them to get the upper hand and have them get their comeuppance, and it just falls flat. So I would give Children of the Corn, I'm being generous with this, guys, a 4.5 out of 10 for Children of the Corn 2023. You can miss this one. Out of all the movies that came out in March, yeah, this one didn't hit the mark. Hopefully the Boogeyman that comes out later this year, another Stephen King adaptation, it does a little bit better. I hear better things about it. So Children of the Corn was supposed to come out 3 years ago, got buried. Should have stayed buried, in my opinion. But it's out there now as a curiosity for people that want to check it out on Shudder. So there you go. That's my review. If you like what you've seen, hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. All right, let's take in some live chat comments, and yeah, whoops. We'll talk about this. Chris Schober says, what did you think about the Children of the Corn? Well, we just talked about that. I thought the first Children of the Corn was the best one of the classic first movie. Yeah, I barely remember the first one. There's Linda Hamilton in it, right? What Children of the Corn is your favorite movie in the franchise? Well, favorite one. I never saw the other ones like Eli Returns or whatever like that, or 777. I never watched those ones, so yeah, I guess I'd have to go with the first one, even though I barely remember. I know it was lower budget. It was like really lower budget too, right? Yeah. It is what it is. All right, that's pretty much all I got in the can for today, guys. There was that other story about Five Nights at Freddy's saying that it waited too long to get adapted to the big screen. It was just an opinion piece. We know that this is coming down the pike. We know that this is happening. It's coming out this year, so it's just an opinion piece. A trailer for this should be coming out soon, I would think. I would hope. I hope it does. Okay, well, guys, I hope you've gone out and seen Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if I'm going to do a spoiler review. Pay attention later today, because I will be posting my ranking of all the movies that I've seen in March. I've seen 9 in March. It was a busy month. Looking ahead at April, there's not many on the docket there. I don't think we're going to have 9 movies in April. Who knows? We'll have to see. Obviously, I think you guys know now what's going to be my least favorite film of March. But it was a close call as to what's going to be number 1. Just taking a quick look at the old Twitter universe to see if I missed anything out there. Joseph Quinn for Dior. Dior had a nice cologne out called Higher, but they don't make it anymore. I like Dior's Higher. Not a big fan of their recent stuff. Tom Holland attends something in Mumbai. NMAAC Gala in Mumbai. Okay. Zendaya was there as well. Of course, you know that they're an item. Damn, Tom Holland is one lucky man. Zendaya. Oh, that sounded gross, James. You shouldn't smack your lips like that. Zendaya attends in Mumbai. Well, I don't know what that is. That some kind of award show? one of my favorite actresses. I really should have watched Euphoria when I had HBO Max there again recently, or Crave. It was about drugs and people being under that, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to get into a series where it's kind of like a downer every episode, right? People fighting their addictions. But I hear good things, and she's won awards for it, so it's kind of like, someday I'll go watch it. Euphoria. Arglass says, I watched Tetris last night, one of the best movies of the year in my opinion, not a horror, but the suspense of Argo vibe with Social Network. Oh yeah, Tetris came out yesterday on Apple TV Plus, right? I actually want to see that, mostly because of Taron Egerton. I want to know what his performance was like. I hear good things about that. Let me just pull up Tetris here on the tomato meter and see what it said here. Knowing that, did you know that it was a fake mustache every time you saw him, though? And apparently he hated it, right? 81% by the critics, 94% by the audience. On Apple TV. So people are digging it, man. Oh, Toby Jones is in it. I must have known that. I like Toby Jones. He's a good actor. So snapshots say in movie terms it all works. Edgerton and M. Veroff are wonderful. Okay, Baird occasionally drops Tetris pieces or inserts animated 8-bit elements into frame because otherwise the movie is a lot of drab interiors and conversations on rights, contracts, and business ethics. It's not enough, says Detroit News. So maybe it's a little too insider for some people. That's what I'm worried about with the new Air movie, about it being a little too inside, about the business side about it, right? Tetris movie, you think it would be about the game. It's more about the rights issues and the battle for the rights, right? But it's got a good cast, and the early buzz for it does seem good. I'm curious about it. I am. Who's that? Huh. Tetris. Yeah. If I get a copy of it, I'll see if I can find it. Produced by Matthew Vaughn. Okay. John S. Baird is the director. Yeah. Fascinating. Filming has wrapped on Steve McQueen's historical drama from World War II, Blitz, starring Saoirse Ronan, Harris Dickinson. Well, I do like Saoirse Ronan. Harris Dickinson. Okay. Dungeons and Dragons has received an A- cinema score. Guys, that's a fun movie. I want to go out and watch it again. Which is interesting and does give hints away as to where it's going to rank on my movies for March list. Hugh Grant. Sets are so weird now. Yeah, we saw that storyline during the week about people sleeping with each other and stuff like that. Okay. Taron Egerton confirms that he will return for a new Kingsman movie with Matthew Vaughn. Has every intention of making it. And I have intention of playing Eggsy one more time. Really? Huh. Well, they just did work together. Matthew Vaughn did produce the Tetris movie. I actually really liked that earlier one with, like the prequel with Ralph Fiennes. That one took me by surprise on how good it was. Yeah. Taron was great in Tetris. I thought it was Nikita Yemerov won it for me. Really? Okay. So had a good acting. So another Kingsman movie. As long as they dial it up from, what was it, the Golden Compass, or what was the second one called again? Yeah. Which sucks because I do like Halle Berry. Anyway, Jenna Ortega for Dior. The Academy has established a new production and technology branch. Films coming up in April: Air, Super Mario Bros., Pope's Exorcist. Yeah, there's not too much here. I want to see Mafia Mama. Toni Collette. I think she's going to knock that out of the park. She plays like a housewife or something that she inherits like a crime boss's ring, racket. She's got to go in and be a crime boss. Evil Dead Rises, probably my most anticipated. Evil Dead Rise and then Super Mario. Super Mario's next week, guys, so we'll be watching that. Pay attention for my Straight Out of the Theater for that one. Clock, The Polite Society. Newcomer Maria Colonia has been cast as the live-action Lilo and Stitch, so she's going to be the young Lilo. It's really how they make Stitch. If they make him look too scary, I don't know if that's going to work. Oh yeah, that's another live-action adaptation that's happening. Avatar Way of Water writer Josh Friedman has been reportedly hired for Fantastic Four. Okay, so that's pretty much where we ended. All right, guys, that's it for me. Enjoy your weekend. And join us on the upcoming week. We'll be back to our full schedule. So tomorrow I'll be posting up our weekly schedule so you can see what's going to be coming up for the next week here. And we'll be back on track. Everybody's liking these. Well, not everybody. It's hit or miss with the little shorts that we've been publishing, but I've been pushing the buttons to see what works, to see if I can drive more traffic to the channel. So I hope you enjoy those as well. That's it for me. I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.